No.
All right. Well, that sucks. Listen, this isn't my normal kind of content. I don't even enjoy watching videos where people have a gym fail or get hurt or look like they're about to get hurt. I don't like that stuff. Don't send me that stuff. But moreover, it's extremely infrequent circumstance where somebody else getting hurt is actually useful to share. Most of the folks are just talking about it because it's a popular topic or a popular person, and they're going to get clicks and views and stuff like that out of it. This is one of those rare instances where I think there's some actual substance to talk about it. So Mikey of the Tren twins, he recently got hurt a few days ago, and he experienced what any of us familiar with it immediately recognized as a pec tear of some grade. The extent wasn't immediately clear. Some people said, oh, it definitely ripped all the way off the bone. Some folks were a little bit more optimistic. And some folks were just gross about the whole thing. Some tiny little broccoli-haired kid with sunglasses that likes to scream in the camera, Mario something or other, actually said that Mikey deserved it. I think that was wholly unfair. Nobody deserves to get hurt. No, I take that back. Bullies, bigots, people who hurt kids, they all deserve to get hurt. But like being an enthusiastic meathead in the gym, you don't deserve to be hurt. I think that's a bad take. It smells like unwashed ass, and you should be ashamed of yourself, dude. And with that said, there are some things that we need to talk about. So I saw a number of videos of people talking about why this went wrong, and their opinions varied from, hey, you were using PEDs, and that makes you more likely, and that's a factor, all the way to people, that same broccoli-haired kid, blaming it on elbow sleeves, using a belt, having spotters, just really demonstrating he has no idea what he's talking about. I don't care how many followers you have, bad information is bad information. But I think it was a lot of things together that caused this, that raised the chances of an incident happening so high that it ensured that it was going to. So I'm not going to drone on and on about this. I'm going to try and keep it short, simple, and concise. Now, when we're talking about PED use, a lot of folks want to boil it down to the fact that your muscles grow faster than your tendons can account for.
Performance-enhancing drugs, namely steroids, make your muscles that much stronger. But unfortunately, it takes longer for the tendons and ligaments to catch up with that strength.
And I don't think that that is an adequate enough explanation. Your tendons are always going to grow or repair about half as fast as your muscle tissue does. So that's something you have to account for whether you're natural or using PEDs. They do grow to a massive extent, but that's called dysplasia. Unusual tissue growth is called dysplasia. And in a muscle, that might make it stronger. But in the collagen fibrils of tendons, ligaments, etc., it actually makes them more prone to breaking by making them stiffer and less flexible, not the fact that they just got big. If you spend enough time getting your body accustomed to and accommodating to a load, your tendons are not just going to tear off the bone because your muscles are so big. It is actively weakening the tendons through dysplasia that causes this. Now, on top of that, not being prepared for a load, if you didn't work up to a weight correctly, if they had been massive jumps, which is what I had heard previously, that they had gone from like 505 to 585, that didn't turn out to be true. As we see here in the days previous, they were playing with 550 pounds. He demonstrated a clear amount of strength that puts him in a reasonable range to be able to handle this weight, perhaps. Where the problem came in is that he was not recovered enough to do so. He had just attempted 585 pounds 3 days before this attempt. And that's going to sound horrifying to my powerlifters out there who have actually done a prep and peaked properly. They're going to know you don't try and fail a 1 rep max that you have never achieved in your life and then 3 days later go back and try it again. That is absolutely insane. He complains in his video that he wasn't feeling quite right.
My left pec got a little abused.
He was still having some lingering effects and he still needed to recover before he went for this all-time PR. But he did not do that. And in doing so, he was at a reduced capacity to handle the load and his muscle just gave out.
Come on. Oh, no.
Now, a third factor that played into this was those behaviors that led up to this bulking phase where they were getting hella strong and they were trying to set new PRs. Bodybuilding by itself, whether or not you're competing naturally or enhanced, also increases your risk of a muscle tear due to the habitual dehydration, you're being lower on resources, glycogen. It affects your body. It lowers your testosterone. You could lose your hair, you lose your energy. It affects your mental health. And it affects the tensile strength, the elasticity of your muscles. It requires a period of time in order to recover from that. And you might not even feel that your body needs to recover if you're using these exogenous hormones that make you feel like Superman every day. It'll make you feel like you can recover from anything. You only need 3 days from your last failed attempt at 585 in order to try it again. Those long-term behaviors, his PED use, the way that they approach training, the aggressive schedule, the unplanned, frequent, heavy attempts, all of this added together to just guarantee that he was going to have an issue at some point or another. So naturally, my advice would be, hey, don't increase the risk that you're going to have a tendon tear or a serious accident or injury by using performance-enhancing drugs. Train natural. Not everybody wants to hear that. People are going to do what they want to do, and you're right. If you want to tell me that people have the right to put that stuff in their body, make the decisions for their own body, you are correct.
The council has made a decision.
I recognize the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
But that does not mean that those of us who can see what the consequences are going to be shouldn't call them out. This guy is young, he's dumb, he's full of exogenous chemicals that really help his performance, and he's learning a hard lesson right now. I don't know if that lesson's going to stick, but from what he says,
I need to train smarter. Maybe I shouldn't have been this heavy. Maybe I shouldn't have tried to gain so much weight and strength so fast, and just got to realize that shit isn't a sprint, bro. It's a marathon.
it seems like maybe some of the message got through, and I really hope that it has. So the folks that don't want to hear that, aren't going to take that advice, are going to use this stuff anyway, I would say that this is the follow-up advice. You cannot PR attempt as frequently or as unplanned as a natural lifter is going to get away with. You might be able to lift more, you might be able to recover faster, you might feel like $1,000,000, but by taking this stuff, you are actively degrading the strength of your tendons. You are at a reduced capacity and increased risk of injury. So you cannot afford to go into these maximal lifts unplanned. It doesn't matter how you feel. Oh, I feel like $1,000,000. It's not about your willpower. Your tendons don't give a crap about your willpower. Your tendons don't believe the bullshit that you are a lone wolf. You are the storm. You're a Viking warrior from the ages past because you work out. None of that shit matters to your tendons, right? They're just going to tear because you made them weaker with bad choices. So do not go into maximal attempts as frequently, and definitely don't do it unplanned. All right, so all that said, I wish the absolute best for Mikey. I hope that he recovers well. Seems like a good dude. They entertain the crap out of me. They remind me of the Paul brothers from the 80s, who were a couple of bodybuilders who were wild like them. They made a bunch of movies that I really enjoyed. Hell, I just made a YouTube short comparing them to the movie The Barbarians. And if you watch that, you'll see what I'm talking about there.
Fatty? Me?
You. Fatty! Who you calling fatty, moosehead?
The resemblance is uncanny. I don't know those guys, but I do hope for good things for both of them. I might not agree with their approach to training, their methodology, or their mentality, but I do still hope for good things. So quick recovery, my dude. I hope things go well. I hope you manage to avoid going under the knife. I mean, sometimes that's what's got to happen, but recovery will be faster if you can avoid it. I watched your video like within minutes that it had come out. It came across my feed. And at the end of the video, it said, you know, you were hopeful that it was only going to be like 6 to 8 weeks of recovery because your doctor had said that your muscle hadn't rolled up. I saw that as a note, which seems to be missing from the video now. So I'm not sure if something has changed or why you guys would have edited that out, but I remember seeing it. So I'm under the impression that this isn't as bad as it could be. This is probably only a grade 2 tear, not a complete grade 3 tear. I hope that that is the case for you. Get back and get active as soon as you can. It'll be good for your headspace. It'll also be good for your body. And while I might think it's unlikely, if you end up getting a 600-pound deadlift in the next year, like you said in this video, I'm going to be happy for you, man. I want to take a quick moment and say thank you to everybody who went ahead and used those codes that I provide so you guys can save a little bit of money. It helps you. It helps me. You guys really showed up, particularly for NORDStick. They are very pleased, and that's a good company. Garrett, the founder of NORDStick, is a really good dude. We've talked, and he's been working with me trying to get some resources for the athletes at the international nonprofit high school that I work at. So they have everything that they need to become as strong and as healthy as possible. I really appreciate that. He's demonstrated himself to be a legitimately good dude. So even if you don't care about saving 10%, even if you don't care about helping me out a little bit, direct some of your business towards them. They're legitimately good people trying to do good work. And as always, if you've been away from the gym for a while or you're going for the first time, you're finally taking those steps, but you don't know what to do, I've got a 40-page free guide, absolutely no strings whatsoever. It's got like 6 programs in it for a variety of goals, lots of advice on how to approach nutrition, how to approach going to the gym, getting accustomed to it. That is my free gift to you. And you got my contact email if you guys want to talk to me directly about coaching or anything like that. And if none of that sounds good to you and you still want to help out the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I'm just happy that you're here. I appreciate y'all. All right, guys, that's it. That's the video for today. If you liked it, they got a button for that. If you didn't like it, they got a button for that too. Either way, let me know about it in the comment section below. Until I see you guys in the next video, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and find a little time to go fit yourself.